Hi guys, this is Alex Andrezar, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to change the oil filter. This one, the oil, the air filter, the spark plugs, the oil filter drain plug, washer just one. I just bought more so I could have for other times I service the bike. This is a special mobile grease XHP 222, which is also recommended by Triumph, so you can grease the bearings on the rear of the bike and all that good stuff. Over here I've got some rubber boot socket locators with the code T2350638, original from Triumph. They go right over here. Let me show you. Right here, as you can see, this one is good. I'm gonna keep that one as a spare, but this one is non-existent. In order to change the oil on this motorcycle, actually on all motorcycles, you have to bring the engine up to 40-50 degrees Celsius so that you can drain all the oil and don't leave anything behind. The thinner the oil, the more you will get out. So my choices for this service is Yakko, oil filter MAN MW6001, air filter, the original one from Triumph, spark plugs NGK Iridium CR9EIX. These are the original drain bolt washers. These are aftermarket drain bolt washers. We're on the bottom of the bike and we've got two sockets, a 17mm and a 13mm. The 17mm will be used for the oil filter. The 13mm will be used for the drain bolt. Now the oil has been drained. The oil was not very dirty. It was freshly changed by the previous owner. Now that we have removed the oil, let's check the specification in the Triumph service manual. You can find this manual in the Facebook group page Triumph Sprint ST 1050. They are a pack of great guys with a lot of information, and well, I've learned a lot since I've been part of that group. A lot about the bike, of course. The oil capacity. Well, dry fill, wet fill including filter. This is us. The wet fill including filter, because dry fill is only for when you reassemble the engine from the very beginning. So 3.2 liters. I'm gonna put some oil inside the oil filter, and I'm gonna put the rest in the fill hole on the clutch side. Now we are looking for the torque specification on how tight the sump drain plug to sump should be. So it says here 25 Newton meters. We have to use a new washer for that. Of course, like I said, I've got copper washers and the original aluminum washers. The thing is, the copper washers are really good in my experience with cars and my previous motorcycle. And the aluminum washers, well, they're original, they can't be bad, but the thing is they're more expensive, and in my own opinion, if the copper washers make the tight seal that they need to make, well, why spend the extra money and time? Because where I live, they're not really easy to come by. They're a specific dimension, I'll show you a picture of the size of them and also the code for the aluminum washers. Oil filter to adapter, 10 Newton meters. In my opinion, if you hand tighten it, it's enough, but the thing is that it's in such a position that it's quite hard to hand tighten, so well, definitely gonna have to see if I have the proper tool to tighten it properly. So I pre-filled the oil filter. It was kind of up to here, now it's kind of in the middle. So 2 liters, 1.5, so 1.7 liters. So that means that it's taken off about 200 to 300 milliliters, give or so. Actually, it would be 300 milliliters. So I pre-filled the oil filter. As you can see, it doesn't make bubbles anymore. Clean oil. This top mark over here is about 2 liters, something like that. 1.5 liters. In between, I would say 1.7. That means it took almost 300 milliliters. With an estimation, of course. Now let's screw in the oil filter carefully so we don't make a mess. Probably I should have, let's say, filled it even with a bit fewer milliliters, so that I don't make a mess of things over here. I used a small torque wrench which is rated from 5 to 25 Newton meters. This will get the job done. So I applied 25 Newton meters over here. As you can see, the copper washer did its thing, it's sealed properly. I applied 10 Newton meters to the oil filter, and let me show you. You saw the Yato adapter. It's gonna be found in this toolbox over here. Yato YT 0594. I used the 66 millimeter one with 6 pokes. As I said, the oil filter took about 300 milliliters. Exactly side-by-side comparison between brand new bottle on the right side and brand new bottle, but with the 300 milliliters poured into the oil filter. So I filled the engine with oil, 2.7 liters, 2.75. Even though if I pre-filled the oil filter with 300 milliliters, the math should be that from 300 milliliters to the math should be that if the oil filter was filled with pre-filled with 300 milliliters, then that means 3.2 liters minus 0.3, that means 2.9 liters. But I filled it with 2.75, so that if I do need to take something to add something, it's easier to add than to remove. So the oil should be right in the middle, and it is kind of a bit difficult to see because the glare. Here probably it's better. Improved visibility. Yep, that's it. So we're in between. I'm gonna let the engine run for 5 minutes or so, and after that I will check again the oil. Leave it sit for 15 minutes and then check again the oil. Now the first start with fresh oil. Sounds good. Like I said earlier, you have two options. One is the, well, expensive option. Well, not that expensive, but you get what I mean. I mean, it's more expensive this one than this one. So the aluminum washer is Triumph Original. The copper washer is an aftermarket part, which you can find for a couple of cents. This is 1.8 to 2 euros. So if you buy 10 of these, you can buy just one of that. The dimensions are as follows. The aluminum washers has an outer diameter of 23 millimeters. The inside diameter is 14.4 millimeters and the thickness is 2.9 millimeters. The copper washer has 19.8 millimeters in the outer diameter, whilst the inside diameter is 14.4 and the thickness is 1.4 millimeters. I'll show you something so that you understand that there's no problem using copper washers. As you can see, it's properly seated and no issues whatsoever. No drippage, no nothing. The thing is, I have to clean everything because, well, I made a pretty messy job, but anyways, that is it. So what you can see over here is the rest of the oil, which I didn't have the time to clean up after I changed it. Now the oil has been properly checked. Level is good in between the middle and in between the minimum and maximum at the middle of those two signs. Now we have brand new boot locators on both sides. I kept the old one, which was on the left side of the bike. I kept it as a spare in case I lose one of these. Hopefully I don't. Now we will have to remove the gas tank, but to remove the gas tank we definitely need to remove the seat, and then after that we need to remove the cowling. And in order to remove the cowling we have to remove this bracket, which is kept in place by these two bolts. These two bolts over here, and I think some bolts underneath the seat. Now let's take off the seat.